Well, hello there, motherfuckers of terrestrial entities. Ha ha ha. Anyway, it was the ultimate deletion on Raw. It's the first Raw review back here on the Brad Rules since I've returned to my main channel. So, you had a good segment on here. People are, bashing it. It's not like the TNA one. But let's be perfectly honest here. Nothing could ever beat the original. But we'll get to that later on. Let's go through the rest of the show. Let's have a good time here on the Brad Rules channel, back on my original channel where my main audience will get to see the reviews. It looks like people have found my channel. A few people said they can't find my channel. I put a link in the description. I also have the channel linked on my main page, so I don't know why you guys are not finding it, but I'll link it again if that helps. I'm sure it will. So there'll be another link in the description once again for the Brad Rants. That'll be my secondary channel in case something happens, like last time. And you'll be able to still follow me on that channel. So look for that link and you will finally find the Brad Rants, my secondary channel. So we started off with Kurt Angle in the ring. Ronda Rousey, they're training and everything. Rousey's not there. Triple H is not there. Stephanie's not there. It's so funny. It's like 2 weeks ago. There's this big scramble on Raw. They're all beating the shit out of each other. Stephanie's running around like a maniac. And then they completely forget that all this happened. It's all gone, all swept under the rug. And, we're just going to wait conveniently to Mania. We'll probably get a little something, prior to Mania, the week before Mania. We're 3 weeks away. Maybe we might get a little something with Rousey cutting a promo. We'll get to that in a little bit about Rousey. So, Roman Reigns comes out of the audience. How he got in the building is beyond me. Like, I didn't... I'm going to say this. This was not a bad segment, but I had a few problems with it. Like, Reigns just comes in through the crowd. So, like, there's no security for him. Security's not surrounding the building. It's like... Remember when Austin used to come in the building? He had to come on a freaking Zamboni machine. It's not like he could just simply waltz in there. If he was going to do it, he was going to have to, bombard his way in, find an alternate means of getting into the arena. Now, Reigns is simply walking into the crowd. It doesn't, and first Angle is, calmly talking to him, and then all of a sudden the U.S. Marshals come out. Keep in mind the Marshals are not even armed or anything. Did anybody even notice that? They just got handcuffs, and I don't know. They did not seem like normal police. It was a little bit silly. They used to have regular cops arresting Stone Cold. Now you've got these unarmed cops. And, also, Reigns just simply, puts his arms out to get handcuffed. It's disappointing, especially when he's supposed to be sort of a renegade face character. I don't know. They still continue to do these things, and the crowd's reacting differently. It's foolish, Like I said, I'm a big fan of Reigns. This guy's come a long way. And the crowd just giving him shit for whatever reason, just because it's fun to do. Even though this guy's proven himself time and time again, we keep hearing the excuses. Oh, he can't cut a promo. Oh, he's a lousy wrestler. He's wrestling for a half an hour with Seth Rollins, and he's still a lousy wrestler. People are praising his matches and still saying he's a bad wrestler. It's gotten old. It's gotten stupid already. You guys make no sense here. Always making these same arguments, and they fall flat on their face each and every time. So, Brock Lesnar comes out. Reigns is handcuffed. He tried picking up the chair and fending him off while handcuffed. I like that spot. He's trying by any means to hit Lesnar. Lesnar beats the shit out of him with the chair. Then leaves. What's funny about this is they have U.S. Marshals around while this is all going on, and you hear, Cole in the background. Finally Cole showed some emotion during this. Every single time they have like a heel beating on a face, they're always like, oh, they gotta do any means to win it, and it's so, it's so boring and plain. The announcers don't give any shit to the heels like back in the day with Gorilla Monsoon and JR, and Vince McMahon when he was commentating, they'd all hammer the heels whenever they did something heelish. They'd say, oh, this is a heinous act, and really get them over. Now the announcers don't want to get anybody over as a heel or as a face. It's like anything goes. Whatever you want to do, it's all fine and dandy out there, right? As JBL used to say, it's all about having fun, Mago. I mean, it's all about. It's all about having fun, having a good time. It's not about building characters. Of course not. Character-driven show. It's a TV show. Of course you don't want to have it all about the characters. It's just downplay everything. Fine by me, Mago. At least JBL's not around saying that garbage anymore. And at least Cole, said like, can somebody stop this? Somebody. And the funny thing is, yes, Cole, somebody could stop it. It would either be building security or the fucking U.S. Marshals that are in the building. It's completely retarded. It looked very fucking stupid that Cole screaming his head off about who could help. And, I appreciate, that they went through the whole old school thing, with having a form of, some type of form of police coming out and cuffing Reigns and all this, and then they strap him to a backboard, and Reigns is like tossing him off the stretcher on the backboard and throwing him around, and somehow he's not getting arrested for assault. It's just, I had mixed feelings about this. Entertaining, it had an old school feel, but it felt stupid, because you have these marshals around and no one is helping Reigns when this is going on. The logic was thrown out the window. Oh, Brad, it's just wrestling. I know, but like I said, you could at least make the show be more believable. At least, it looks dumb when you have a fantasy world that looks completely, devoid of logic. I see cartoons on modern day Nickelodeon with more logic. I'm not even joking. Like, people think we make these examples. I've even heard other people say it before in the YWC about cartoons being superior to the current product, and then they're right. They are absolutely right. I don't watch these shows, but I'm saying you could just kind of handpick any show you want off TV, and I guarantee you there's more logical writing in it. I've heard, little children with more logic than shows like this. Yeah. Let's move on already. So Asuka defeats Alexa Bliss. There you go. Bliss is already losing a match. There you go. Like, what do you kind of expect there? Already losing a match to Asuka. It's fucking retarded. I mean, so why is, first of all, I need to ask, why is Asuka now on Raw? Once you pick the opponent you want to face, don't you automatically become a part of that brand? So, Bliss has a match against Nia Jax, and she's already losing, and after the match, Nia chases her to the back. Kurt Angle makes the match, but I mean, like, see, Asuka, did she really need to be on Raw and getting this win over Bliss? Like, her deal at Mania, she's not even going to be interacting with Alexa Bliss, so why have her lose here? And does Asuka need to even look strong? The thing is, I don't even care what anybody says. No one cares about Asuka. Oh, Brad, what's all these fans Does the fans even look like they're cheering for her in the crowd? Do they look like they give a fuck? See, the difference here is you had like 500 people in the crowd compared to, what'd you have, like 16 and a half thousand people there at Raw. There's no comparison. Of course the response is going to be thunderous when you're in such a small building compared to a bigger one. You can't get all those people to cheer unless the person is truly over. I mean, for God's sakes, it would seem like anything is over. I mean, think about it. In NXT, they chant the name of the fucking company. It was like TNA in Orlando. They fucking chant the name of the goddamn fucking company. I mean, that is how, how sheepish the crowd is half the time. How brain dead they are. You're chanting the name of a fucking company. The name of the company is over to them. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the "this is awesome" crowd. That's the "you deserve it" crowd. So, it's not really surprising to me that Asuka's not over. I mean, what about Asuka's character is appealing here? We know she likes to wear a mask and dance around and scream shit into the mic as loud as she can in broken English. Aside from that, I don't know who Asuka is. She's an empress. Does anybody care? No. Listen to the response. Are the ratings going up? No. I mean, but you guys like to say how over Asuka is and how great she is. And God forbid anybody question her ability to speak English. All of a sudden it's, regarded as a hateful statement. No one's hating. We're just saying that if everybody else is speaking the language, it would be nice if she could at least get a couple of words out without having to fucking search her brain. It's just, and I see people making excuses, it's hard for her, to come up, with these words and say if I was in the same situation. I don't care. Then she should not be on TV. The YWC needs to stop making excuses for these people. Stop making excuses for WWE putting her out there to look like a goofball. And because no one, I don't care what anybody says, this is stupid. This is dumb. This is retarded. This is just unappealing. It's unappealing to the ear to have to listen to this maniac screaming her head off every single night, and this is supposed to get her over? I don't know what it's supposed to do. Strowman comes out, says he's got to have a tag team partner. And guys, this is where the rant I mentioned in my WrestleMania review. My WrestleMania rant. I said, how could it be that we spend all this time on Braun Strowman for the better part of a whole goddamn year trying to get this guy over? Feats of strength, feud with the top guy in the company, reigns, matches with Brock Lesnar for the title where he comes within seconds of winning. He gets into the chamber. The pay-per-view right before WrestleMania for Raw comes this close to winning, right? He eliminated everybody there was to eliminate besides Reigns, who won the match. So, and perfectly understandable. They didn't want him going on to face Lesnar. They wanted it to be one-on-one. Okay, I get it. But you better have a special match planned for Braun. I mean, tag team title match? What is this? How could they treat him this way after you build him up that much? You just say, you know what, Braun, we're just going to give you a tag title match. I mean, a tag title match. He ain't even a tag team wrestler. A guy who got this close to the world title, what does he have to prove in the fucking tag division? And a partner. A partner. This is a guy who eliminated 5 guys, and you're going to give him a partner to go against the tag champs when he's almost come so close to winning the world title. He's already beaten former champions. He's beaten Reigns, who's already a 3-time world champ. and you're going to relegate him to this position? You know, I thought that they were thinking maybe about doing something with him and Elias, something creative, but not even so. I mean, unless they decide to team them up, which I think is probably going to happen. Watch if they try to do that. Did they try to do something cute like Elias and Braun in some type of cutesy tag team? If they do that garbage, you could just completely forget about ever recovering Braun. I mean, he wasn't even at Mania last year. He was in the fucking Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Now we fast forward a year, and, you know, I thought, like, okay, so, you know, they weren't ready to have Braun on the card yet, on the main card. I get that. It's a little bit weird that he was facing off against Reigns, who was in the last match at Mania, just the pay-per-view before in the main event. I would think that maybe, just maybe, they would have had a tiny little spot for him on the undercard, or the mid-card, somewhere on there. Opening match, maybe. Nope. No, nowhere to be found. But I was like, okay, so, you know, next year at 34, 2018... it's going to be it's going to be Braun's year. They're going to put him on the card. He's going to be pretty high up, and then he ends up in a fucking tag match. I mean, is anybody, like, happy about this? Does the WWE view this as, like, this is a good move? After you spent the whole year having this guy dominate and do all this shit and be probably one of the most productive guys and most over guys on the roster. He is the most over guy. I mean, that is a genuine pop when he comes out. You know, even the smarkiest of smarks, even the most annoying, you deserve it fans, even they cheer for Braun because they did a good job with Braun. Like I said, they could have done better. I think that they probably should have had him beat Lesnar already. I didn't see the point of, you know, they could have had Braun a full-time guy with the world title, and it would have, you know, been reputable. I mean, like, this is a guy who's already beat Lesnar. He already beat Reigns. Now he beat Lesnar, and look at the size of the guy. Is anybody really going to question him being a world champion? And people wanted him to be world champ. You know, to give the belt to all these other mamalukes like fuckboy Balor, and, you know, Sami Zayn looks like any day now he might win that title. And, you know, for some reason, Braun Strowman, an actual over guy, can't seem to win the title. You know, a guy the size of AJ Styles, no problem, wins the title. A guy the size of Strowman, nah, gotta wait with him, you know, not yet. I mean, it's ridiculous. You look at this, and it's like, this is pathetic. He goes on to beat Cesaro. Okay, you know, we expected that. Is anybody pumped for this match now that he beat Cesaro? Matt introduces us to his family. We see Rebby Hardy. If you never saw this in TNA, which is probably, despite what all the smarks are saying, you know, you're not going to know who any of these people are. WWE they should have, for weeks and weeks since they started the broken mat thing. When Jeff Hardy was out injured, why didn't they shoot some vignettes with Jeff? You know, and everybody was saying, oh, he was scheduled to be in there, and they were going to take him out, and then we learned later on that's not even so. Because of the whole DWI thing involving him, they ended up putting him in the video anyway. So you see all Senior Benjamin, you see Maxwell, you see Wolfgang, Matt Hardy's sons, and, you know, it's just, okay, if you do a little long, they could just Google and see who they are, put it into YouTube. Why should they have to? Why not reintroduce them? We're seeing this all in one night, the drones. In TNA, we got to see this piece by piece. We saw the piano, we saw the giraffes, we saw all these little things little by little by little. And here they were just thrown all out at us. Now it's good that it's sort of a compilation, that we're seeing all the good stuff at once. I get it, but You know, all these characters, don't they deserve to be examined with better depth and appreciation? Instead of just saying, oh, here's a bunch of people, oh, who are they? I don't know. Hey, just go watch TNA. Yeah, go watch the other product to learn. Great idea there. No, not yet. The Revival beat Titus Worldwide, and after the match, there was a big announcement. They're going to be the first tag team to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I don't know how that works. I thought only one person could win it. I don't get these rules. Braun could enter as one man in the tag battle royal. Then you've got the Revival saying that two men could win a every man for himself battle royal. Okay, big announcement. These guys are saying that they're, going to be anti-smart and everything. What happened to that? What happened to that gimmick? It looked like that could have gone places. Then they started doing the Even Stevens booking, and any sort of heat that they could have garnered was completely, squashed. No one's allowed to get any heat. No one's allowed to get over. Nobody's allowed to fucking do anything in this company. Unless it's written on the fucking script. No one is allowed to get over and be popular, do anything. It's a really sad state of affairs. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Not a lot of people were even talking about it. I say, hey, the Revival don't look like stars, but, here's a couple of indie guys talking out against the Smarks. I'm like, it could be entertaining. In 2 weeks, it's already done. They get buried by DX and fuckboy Balor's gang. Good job there. Mark Henry's being inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's well-deserved, and people are saying who should induct them. I say let D'Lo Brown. It's supposed to be his friend. Let him do the induction. People are, knocking it. You got a problem with D'Lo Brown? It's probably, what JR said was true. Back in, 99, he was one of the most underrated wrestlers. I mean, this guy was pretty athletic for his size. He was no small guy, and he was jumping around and everything. And the thing was, he jumped around, but he wasn't like these Mamalukes today that do it every fucking 2 seconds in the ring. He paced himself. He showed us moves that we never saw up to that point in time. Absolution defeated Sasha and Bayley, but not before we got a completely horribly acted, slow-talking promo with these two girls with no facial expressions, stone-faced. I mean, here's the thing, guys. There's no drama here, and besides these two girls tagging together, I never got, the vibe that they were, such good friends. We never saw, a real, tag team bond between these two girls. They were just some fucking tag wrestlers, that's about it. And, what was it, the Three Horsewomen? Was she even one of those girls? Or the Four Horsewomen? I don't even know. I don't even care. So, I don't know. But the thing with Bayley is, this is not over. This side ponytail looking like a total goofball. Them floaty fucking things, the balloons at the entryway. It's never been over. It was over for 2 seconds in NXT. They brought it to the main stage. Nobody cared. They gave her the title. People fell asleep. I mean, all these NXT stars, there hasn't been one NXTer that's truly gotten over. I mean, the only one was Enzo. That was about it. That was when they would get the whole entire crowd, and now he's gone. All these NXT people. It's okay, you got Bobby Roode on SmackDown that people say glorious along with him. But aside from that, who out of NXT is really that over? No one cares about Balor anymore. People are not getting behind these indie darlings the way that the YWC wants you to believe that they are. You would think, I'm listening for the reactions. I'm listening to these reactions, and they're just not there. I mean, I posted it on my Facebook. The night after WrestleMania 18, Hogan versus The Rock. People who are friends with me on Instagram and Facebook saw me remarking out once again for the first time since I was like, how old was I at the time? 15 years old, 14, 15 years old. When Hogan came out the night after, that had to be the most ear-shattering reaction I've ever heard in my life for a wrestler. That was maybe even louder than certain reactions for Stone Cold or Hogan even back in the day. He came out and the crowd was screaming. They were eating it up. Hogan, what a match from the night before. A crowd showing appreciation. And not one motherfucker chanting, "You deserve it," or "This is awesome." We got through a match with people showing appreciation without having to resort to some, stupid ass chant. Some annoying, repetitive chant that's chanted at 200 other wrestlers. But the crowd was so loud, so appreciative of such a legend. And I'm saying to myself, nowadays, I hear What Culture lying, about AJ Styles getting one of the big top 10 biggest pops of all time when he debuted at the Rumble. And I made a stink about that here on this channel. Also, for the Brad Rand subscribers, I did a whole video on What Culture, so go check that out if you want to see what I think about how What Culture's been doing lately. Not too good. So, they like to lie to you, like all these other people in the YWC. They like to say, "Oh, these guys are over. They're getting big reactions." No, they're not. They're not at all. Go watch that video of Hogan coming out, and you'll see what a big fucking lie it is. That wasn't even that big of a building. And that building must have had cracks in its foundation from how loud the crowd was getting. Because that was a wrestler. That was a man. That was a personality. That's what you call a star. And you could hear that the crowd really sensed it. They knew it. Those were the real fans. Those were the real people that really appreciate a guy like Hogan. And he worked for that response. Not just what he did years ago, but what he did the night before. And he didn't have to do no suicide dives or fucking, Phoenix splashes to the outside. Didn't have to jump off shit. No. Didn't have to do that at all. He just put together a match that people enjoyed. He had let his charisma be feasted on by the crowd. And we don't have people like that anymore. I'm just saying, go look at the correlation or the lack of thereof. You compare those things, and it's like night and day. It truly is. So Absolution beats Sasha and Bayley. Big fucking deal. Cena comes out, cuts another promo on The Undertaker, say that, it's saying it's disrespectful. He hasn't responded to his challenge yet. Kane comes out, chokeslams Cena. That's it. Not revisiting. So, again, it's the same thing. Lesnar, no follow-up. Cena gets chokeslammed, laid out. Does he go seeking revenge on Kane later on the show? No, not at all. Okay, maybe Cena be angry about this. Oh, we're going to have to wait till next week, I guess. The Miz cuts a picture-perfect promo for all the Miz haters out there, talking about how Balor and Seth Rollins over there, man, right? The guy likes to say man all the time, and the fucking blueberry there, the blueberry fuckboy, Finn Balor. He's talking about how these guys are in like bingo holes. I don't know if he was talking about Seth Man Rollins, but he's talking, I think, about the whole Balor club. Gallows and Anderson. Whoever he was talking about, he said that these guys, they returned to the bingo hole at Raw 25 just so they could do the Too Sweet thing, and for all the indie fans. And the thing was, it was nice to hear Miz shoot on that, because I am so sick of all these people. Check out my Balor Club shirt. I mean, this guy is not over. The fact that he even won a world title, you can see how that McMahon's even smart enough. He don't want this guy anywhere near the world title again. That's why he's been knocked all the way down to the IC belt. They realize that they fucked up. They realize that this guy is just going to keep getting injured. They realize that it's not going good. It's not a smart move to put all your eggs in a Finn Balor basket. So that's why they've kind of relegated him back down to the card to like sort of an upper mid-card position. So Miz did a good job shooting on them here, and Balor Club gets the win because, we got to satisfy them indie marks, right? It's kind of ridiculous, like I said. This guy coming out looking like a blueberry as of late. He's already a fuckboy, but now he's a blueberry fuckboy. Can it get any worse than that? I mean, the guy has received the blueberry upgrade. I've never seen a blue leather jacket before. Oh, Brad, you're always asking for originality and personality. I mean, at least I could say when he was the Demon that he had something going for him. I said, it's still an uncharismatic guy cloaked in paint, but I said at least it was something. It looked cool. They do a good job on the paint. There might not be any hope for the guy outside his entrance, but hey, it's something. Something to go on. But now we're just talking about dressed all in blue. Like, not only is he boring and uncharismatic, but he's wearing an ugly fucking bright attire that just makes him look even more like a goofball. And what is the deal? Like, I've already said this guy has been working on them gains, but for fuck's sakes, after every single movie, yeah, I mean, what is that? He keeps doing that damn pose every single time he hits one of his fucking moves. It's kind of annoying already. Like every 2 minutes, duh, duh, and it's more like that, duh. He keeps doing this retarded ass scream like he's Batista. Now the thing is, the guy's got a decent build on him, a nice, lean build. But unless you're fucking shaped like Batista or Brock Lesnar or Hulk fucking Hogan, I think you should lay off the And the thing is, Hulk Hogan would do that when he came out. He wouldn't continue to pose during the match. I mean, I was watching him on Raw. I'm like, he did it like 3 or 4 times. I'm not even exaggerating. It's like enough already. How many times are you going to do that shit per match? It's like a stand-in. It's like McMahon said, well, you know what? You don't have any charisma, so throw in a couple of fucking poses. I mean, you're not over. You're boring. You've got nothing going for you, so you're throwing in a couple of these, and that ain't doing anything for you. But by all means, keep going every 2 seconds. If that makes you feel more charismatic, at least he can maybe fool himself into thinking he's charismatic. But trust me, you blueberry motherfucker, you certainly are not charismatic. You're not charismatic at all. You're just still the fuck boy. It's just, you look like you dipped yourself into a vat of blueberry syrup before the fucking match. I mean, Ronda Rousey was not there for the 2nd week in a row. I mean, we had a video package this time. It's not a recap, but it's Kurt Angle there. She says, God hates me. God hates me. I mean, first of all, you're showing her in like a very vulnerable light is the word the term I want to use here. You're showing her to be very vulnerable here. She's supposed to be a badass. Would you ever, I hate to go through this whole, because I feel like I say it so much, but I have no choice but to talk about the past. I know a lot of people always bitch in the comments, oh, there he goes again, talking about the Attitude Era. Because as far as I'm concerned, when the ratings are at its highest, when we had the best characters, and for those people who get sick of it, remember, I also say the Ruthless Aggression Era also had a lot of entertainment and great characters. And even though it might have not been as good as the Attitude Era, it was still way better than this shit. 10 times better. 20 times better. I mean, you fucking name the amount of times and it's better. It's better by all means. You would never hear Batista or Cena or Stone Cold, Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, Undertaker talking from a vulnerable standpoint, showing a sign of weakness. Once in a while they goof up, like Stone Cold cried on the bridge when he thought that Kurt Angle was going to toss him off. Remember that with the Alliance angle? Wasn't a big fan of that angle. But at least it was entertaining. This is not. I mean, God hates me. Why the fuck did they have to go that far? I don't know if that's a shoot or whatever it is, but, the thing is, I've already said this about Rousey. She's not very mentally stable. She went on Ellen DeGeneres' show, talked about wanting to kill herself because some fans mocked her. She's a victim. I mean, this girl is talking out of both sides of her mouth. First she says she's overconfident. She had all the confidence in the world, and she basically says, in this video package, mind you, she says, fuck what everybody else says, because I'm tough. I could beat everybody up. So, people have a problem with me because of that. And that was good. I was like, all right, so Rousey, she might be smiling her ass off like an idiot. Hey, smiling. I forget who it was. And all credit due in the comments, whoever it was who said it. Was it King of Kings, maybe, in my comment section, who said, smiling Ronda Rousey? I think that's the best nickname for her. Because every 2 fucking minutes that she comes out, she's smiling, and we're going to get to that later on. She's always smiling and shit, so it's like, at least now she said she's talking about herself, and then she all of a sudden, the music changes in the video. And God hates me. I'm like, what? You went from like hot to cold there. First you're saying that, you're tough and everybody hates you because you're so, you've got an ego and, you got a chip on your shoulder, which is great because I'm like, this is what we need headed into Mania to make it believable. This girl could take it to Stephanie and Triple H even, but then we're talking about, people are mean to me and stuff, critics. It's like, get it together, woman. I mean, like, you want to make it to the big time. You want to inspire. This is the problem I have here. They talk about how these women are inspirations, and this is why, we can't have a fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal, and, we got these girls have to be role models and all this shit, So why are we then saying, that Rousey is like a vulnerable person? Shouldn't we omit that shit and just focus on the good shit? Like she kicked a lot of ass when she was a champion over there. But instead we gotta talk about feelings. I mean, should we really, if we're trying to make her out to be a strong woman, is it really smart to make this all emotional and shit? Save that shit for Ellen. This is the WWE. And we're talking about our UFC career. Is this how we want to learn about Rousey, especially in her first, year, her first official year? She hasn't even been in the company for 2 months yet. Like a month. barely, and we're already seeing a vulnerable side of her. I mean, can we at least see the tough side of her? Because all I've seen so far, I mean, she's done a few moves to Stephanie and Triple H, but aside from that, she's always just smiling her ass off. She's so happy about it. Well, she's happy to be there. Oh, okay. Well, that explains it, right? By all means, keep on smiling away. It's just like fucking Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood out here, huh, right? It's just a good time, man. It's like the goddamn Muppet Show, you know? It's just all sunshine rainbows, fucking Teletubbies and shit. I mean, come on already. What are we doing here? You know, but that, like, bothered me. God hates me? Why are we getting, like, that, like, psychological with it? And, like, it's like, damn, like, sucking the whole fucking fun out of Ronda Rousey even being there. And then, before we get to the ultimate deletion, I look at a video. Ronda Rousey was at the arena. She was there, guys. She was at the arena. She was there, guys. She was at the arena. Well, where the fuck was she, huh? Was she like hiding and catering? Was she stuffing her face with fucking fudge sprinkled donuts? Was she having herself a fucking frappuccino? No, what was she doing? I don't know. You know, was she painting her toenails or something? No. She was actually in the ring, but it wasn't on air. It was after, I think, the show went off the air. She comes out smiling once again. Slapping every single fan's hand. That's the most hands I've ever seen slapped. I don't even think fucking Hulk Hogan slapped that many hands. She's like running around, slapping everyone's hand. God forbid we forget to slap a hand. I mean, my God, I've never seen someone slap that many hands before. I mean, she's smiling, she's having a good time. Hey, you know, it's like a fucking party. You know, so she's dominating Stephanie. Stephanie's, cut off so many balls over the years of being Raw GM and shit. Raw commissioner, rather, whatever the fucking term is. I don't even know who's a commissioner, whatever the term is. She's there. You know, she talks down to Mick Foley. She talks down to Kurt Angle. Finally, Ronda comes along and Samoan drops the bitch, and, you know, all is right with the world. And so now she's coming out smiling again. She starts cutting her promo, much like the promo at Elimination Chamber. Hey, thanks, guys. I mean, you're supposed to be a badass. And once again, you're like thanking the crowd. Whatever she said. Maybe she didn't thank the crowd. Whatever. It was this smiley, happy thing. Before she could even start talking, Dana Brooke comes out. Dana Brooke was looking good, by the way. I don't know, like, she's Titus Worldwide. She's supposed to be a face, but I don't know, off camera, she's back wearing her regular garb again. She's not the statistician gimmick anymore. She's coming out to her own music. Like, almost like she never even joined up with that tag team. But I guess off there she has a different character. Whatever the case may be. I don't know. Why am I even analyzing this? Who cares? So she comes out. Fucking Ronda, like, gives her this big old T-bone suplex. Almost looks like she fucking threw her out into the ceiling or some shit. Fucking bitch, like, flew halfway across the ring. It's crazy. It was a good move, actually. Kind of dangerous, but I don't know. That's like kind of what I said months ago with the prospect of Rousey coming. I said, if Rousey's not trained well, she's going to hurt somebody. We already got people getting hurt. More people going to get hurt. But the point is, I'm not saying that segment should have been on Raw, but you have Rousey there. It's not like she had some product. I mean, she was there. You had her come out for some shit there, and it was not only pointless, but it wasn't even on TV. You're showing her in a package like she's not even there, but she is there. So why are you doing that just for the house? You're not doing it for TV? You have Ronda Rousey. You waited 3 years to have this woman. You finally have her. 2 weeks in a row, she's not even on TV. Or she was on TV, but she was in the vignette. You have 3 hours of television, and you can't find some time to put one of your big stars that you waited all that time to sign, inspirational woman. That inspirational. Why is she not on the goddamn main show? She's in the fucking unaired thing. They were planning to put it up on YouTube anyway. Put 5 minutes aside just so she could be on she could be on Raw. You'd rather have it on YouTube? What's wrong with this company? Let's just get to the ultimate deletion. I like this, and fuck all the haters who said they didn't. Okay, so they repeated a lot of stuff, right? You know, like the ring, you know, in the middle of the compound. Okay, well, it's the same environment. I enjoyed it. So, you know, people were saying on my Facebook, they were saying, oh, it's like, it was a more serious version. Not really. Like when Matt was running around the symbol, you know, the Matt Hardy symbols, and, you know, and it was like they were shooting it super fast, like sped up, and Bray was hitting the symbol by symbol. It was like a Tom and Jerry thing. I thought that was funny. It wasn't that serious. I mean, Jeff Hardy appears at the very end. We saw a couple of things like the dilapidated city that was supposed to remind Bray Wyatt of his compound. They fought around. Matt Hardy, you know, got on the lawnmower and he's doing that. It was funny stuff. They were doing a lot of things that were entertaining, and you know, I liked how they were fighting around outside. It was reminiscent of old hardcore matches, and it was a lot like the final deletion. We got to see Matt's face on the drone, and his voice sounded more digitized this time, so there was little different touches. I liked the visual of Bray walking up to the gates of the compound, and altogether I thought it was a pretty good presentation, good moment. And I mean, yes, it was very reminiscent, but that's because Jeremy Borash worked on it. And we're also pretending like this never happened in TNA, so of course they wanted to repeat certain things. But it was fun, and if you're saying you didn't have fun watching it, you're just lying. You just want to be one of those people, oh, I already saw it in TNA. So, but alright, but it happened here again, and it was fun, and it was way better. I know you guys, oh, well, Brad, you saw the final deletion, you know how good it was. Why are you lowering? I'm not lowering my standards. I'm saying, oh, if I had to pick, probably would pick the original, but this one was pretty damn good as well. And, you know, at the end, they surprise everybody by having Jeff appear there, and it distracts Bray. He hits the twist of fate. Then Matt throws him into the lake of reincarnation. Then he asks Senior Benjamin to fish him out, but he's not there. And then they just play the music, and Matt laughs, and it was a good way to end it. I don't know why they decided to put this as the last thing on the show if they know full well that the final hour doesn't get any views, but, you know, they did advertise it throughout the show, so I guess they were hoping to make the third hour rise, and I guess if they're going to have a third hour, that's a better approach to do. But now that we have this, please go full force with the Matt Hardy thing. It was good. Let Jeremy Borash come in, work with Matt Hardy, and give ample time to Matt. Give him at least like 15 minutes, at the very least, each show to do something good, like a segment or 10 minutes, something. It's not enough to give him 2 minutes per show. 10 minutes, right? Maybe 15 minutes is excessive, but at least 7, 8 minutes, something for Matt. He's the most entertaining thing on the show, and the worst thing is that they never go back to him. I could see if they give him a minute here, a minute there throughout the show, and it's all spaced apart. But you know how Raw is. You know how SmackDown is. It's the same way. We'll do it here, and that's it. Then we gotta wait a whole week to see what's going on with Matt again. So, you know, but I enjoyed it. It was good. It was a nice, lengthy segment, and it was weird that they started the damn match after the third hour, technically. It's like already 11 o'clock and the match begins. I don't know why they waited that. They could have cut so much shit out of this show to begin with. But the opening segment was devoid of any logic, which kind of affected my enjoyment of it. But this was a good last segment, and all the other crap just sucked. WrestleMania season, guys. So I don't know what they're playing. Now that they got this out of the way, what are they going to do with Mania with Woke and that? I mean, that's anybody's guess. There you go, motherfuckers. We ranted, we talked about deletions. Rousey was smiling her ass off, even if it wasn't even broadcast on television. I still don't understand how you have this girl that you waited that long to have, and then you just say to yourself, well, you know what, let's not book her on the show. Let's book her for for an in-house appearance that only YouTube will see as an exclusive. What kind of shit is that? Anyway, motherfuckers, this has been your YWC champ, and I'm signing out.